Hello, everyone, and welcome to the thru Recovery Life podcast. My name is John A., and I am an alcoholic in West Palm Beach, Florida. My sobriety date is September 13th, 1982. Let's have a moment of silence to reflect on what we're about to do here today, followed by the serenity prayer. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things that I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. And we'll start off with a quote by Albert Einstein. If you can't explain it simply, you don't understand it well enough. We call ourselves the Zoo Crew because although we are deadly serious about sobriety, we want to show others, mainly newcomers, that sobriety is not boring at all. You can visit our website at thezooCrew.org, thezooCrew.org. Please feel free to like this video and subscribe to our channel so you can be notified when we upload new videos. Also, feel free to comment and share this video with others in recovery or looking to get sober. And if there are any topics you'd like us to cover in future podcasts, send us an email. That information will be in the description. In this episode of the thru Recovery Life podcast, the topic is forgiving others. We have a previous podcast on forgiving yourself, and I hope you will check that out as well. Oftentimes, the ties that bind us are more mental than physical. And here's an example. In India, one method of training elephants was to tie a baby elephant to a tree with a thick, heavy chain, thereby severely restricting its movement and almost immobilizing it. After a long time of this treatment, all an elephant handler had to do was tie a rope around the elephant and put a stake in the ground to keep the elephant in place. The elephant was so conditioned to thinking that it was unable to move that some of them had been found dead in place after a fire. All the elephant had to do was try to move, and it would have escaped the fire, but it thought it was still chained to a tree. And by learning to forgive yourself and others, you will be freeing yourself from the past. You will be breaking the ties that bind you and keep you from growing. Forgiveness is important to the healing process since it allows you to let go of anger, guilt, shame, sadness, or any other negative feeling you may be experiencing and move on. And here's a quote by Louise Hay. The act of forgiveness takes place in your mind. It really has nothing to do with the other person. Are you forgiving or letting go? Forgiving someone is all about you and your happiness. You do not have to forgive everyone who has done you wrong, but you do need to get rid of any anger and resentment you may have in your heart. Many people say they forgave someone, but don't want anything to do with them. That is not true forgiveness. When you forgive someone, you continue the relationship from the point when the transgression happened. For example, if you find out that your bridesmaid stole money from you before the wedding, but you forgive her and still have her as part of your bridesmaid, that is an example of forgiveness. If, on the other hand, you tell your bridesmaid that you have no ill will towards her and wish her the best, but you don't want her in your wedding, then you've let go of the situation and any resentment you may have had. So there is a big difference between forgiving and letting go. And here's another example of true forgiveness. In October 2006, there was a tragic Amish school shooting of 10 young schoolgirls in a one-room Amish school. In the midst of their grief over their shocking loss, the Amish community didn't cast blame, they didn't point fingers, they didn't hold a press conference with attorneys at their sides. Instead, they reached out with grace and compassion toward the killer's family. The afternoon of the shooting, an Amish grandfather of one of the girls who was killed expressed forgiveness toward the killer, Charles Roberts. That same day, Amish neighbors visited the Roberts family to comfort them in their sorrow and pain. Can you imagine that? Your kids were killed, but you went and comforted the killer's family. And later that week, the Roberts family was invited to the funeral of one of the Amish girls who had been killed. And Amish mourners outnumbered the non Amish at Charles Roberts' funeral. It's ironic that the killer was tormented for 9 years by the premature death of his young daughter. He never forgave God for her death. Yet, after he cold bloodedly shot 10 innocent Amish schoolgirls, the Amish almost immediately forgave him and showed compassion toward his family. So why should you forgive someone? What will you get out of it? Here's some of the benefits of forgiving someone. Letting go of grudges and bitterness can make way for improved health and peace of mind. Forgiveness can lead to healthier relationships, improved mental health, less anxiety, stress and hostility, lower blood pressure, fewer symptoms of depression, a stronger immune system, improved heart health, improved self-esteem. Being hurt being hurt by someone, particularly someone you love and trust, can cause anger, sadness, and confusion. If you dwell on hurtful events or situations, grudges filled with resentment, vengeance, and hostility can take root. If you allow negative feelings to crowd out positive feelings, you might find yourself swallowed up by your own bitterness or sense of injustice. Some people are naturally more forgiving than others, but even if you're a grudge holder, almost anyone can learn to be more forgiving. As you let go of grudges, you'll no longer define your life by how you've been hurt. You might even find compassion and understanding. And try to accept the apology that never comes. And for me personally, learning to live with unresolved conflicts is one of the greatest gifts of Alcoholics Anonymous. What happens if you can't forgive someone? Forgiveness can be challenging, especially if the person who's hurt you doesn't admit wrong. If you find that you're stuck, try practicing empathy. Try seeing the situation from the other person's point of view. And I love this quote. I forget who said it, but by becoming interested in the cause, you're less likely to dislike the results. So try seeing the situation from the other person's point of view. Another is to ask yourself why he or she would behave in such a way. Perhaps you would have reacted similarly if you faced the same situation. Reflect on times you've hurt others and on those who've forgiven you. Write a journal, pray, or use guided meditation, or talk with a person you found to be wise and compassionate, such as a spiritual leader, a mental health provider, or an impartial loved one or friend. Be aware that forgiveness is a process, and even small hurts may need to be revisited and forgiven over and over again. And forgiveness means letting go of anger after someone has hurt you or wronged you. Forgiveness is for you and you alone. The other person may or may not deserve forgiveness, yet you deserve to be free of resentment. It's important to remember what happened to you so you can learn from your past and grow stronger. Learn how to forgive without forgetting and grant yourself a more peaceful, positive existence. And you do not have to forgive and forget. Actually, you should not forgive and forget. You grow wiser when you learn from misfortune. Forgetting the wrongs or pretending they didn't happen robs you of wisdom. Thinking about how you were wronged teaches you about human nature and relationships. Forgive to let go of your anger, but don't forget what happened. Forgiving without forgetting is crucial to learning who to trust and how to trust. Avoid repression. Repression is when you bury memories of bad events. When you repress memories, you get side effects like anxiety and depression. You may lash out and not realize why. Repression is an unhealthy way to cope. It causes you to get stuck in an emotional rut. The process of forgiving without forgetting is healthier because it brings the negative event into your awareness. You should reflect on the event, learn from it, and move on. And the bottom line is that when you forgive someone, again, you're doing it for yourself. You are freeing yourself from bondage. You don't have to forgive the person, but you do have to let go of the situation and any ill will you may have towards that person. When we say the Lord's Prayer, we should think about all the words in that prayer. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. Each time you say the Lord's Prayer, you are asking for forgiveness for yourself and the willingness to forgive those who may have hurt you. And again, I can't emphasize enough, you should not forgive and forget, but that doesn't mean you bring up the transgression every time you get mad at the other person. When you learn to forgive yourself and others, you will beat yourself up with a feather instead of the bullwhip that you may have been using. You will also start to not regret the past, nor wish to shut the door on it. You will start to comprehend the word serenity, and you will know peace. And as it says in our big book, resentment is our number one offender. Big book, page 67. Resentment is the number one offender. It destroys more alcoholics than anything else. So we have to learn to forgive or let go of any resentments if we are to have long-term contented sobriety. If we are ever wronged and will work on either forgiving or letting go, why not do it right now? Why not do it today? This is something I pray that I can do if I ever need to. Don't wait till tomorrow, next week, next month, or even years to forgive. Do it now and set yourself free sooner than later. Again, how soon do you want to be happy, joyous, and free? And I highly suggest that you read and follow the directions on page 552 of the Big Book. Page 552 of the Big Book, to help you deal with any resentments you may have. I'll put a link to it in the description. It worked for me personally when I was going through a divorce. And I no longer let people live rent-free in my mind. And you can do the same. In parting, we suggest that you get out of your comfort zone. Get out of your comfort zone until it becomes comfortable. And this ends our podcast. But before parting, I'd like you to get to know hope so that you can get to know recovery. Because if you have no hope, there might be no recovery. Be a hope dealer. And let's take a moment to reflect on what we did here, followed by the serenity prayer. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things that I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. And once again, thank you for listening to the thru Recovery Life podcast on forgiving others. Be sure to check out our previous podcast on forgiving yourself. My name is John A., and I am an alcoholic in West Palm Beach, Florida. My sobriety date is September 13th, 1982. You can visit our website at thezooCrew.org, thezooCrew.org. Please feel free to like this video and subscribe to our channel so you can be notified when we upload new videos. Feel free to comment and share this video with others in recovery or looking to get sober. Drop us a line if there are any topics you'd like us to cover in future podcasts. Thank you. Have a great day. And remember, you never need to have a bad day, just bad moments.